Flexport is a platform for global logistics. We make it easy to ship cargo anywhere in the world and do all of the complex coordination involved in doing that, which includes passing orders out to your factories and then tying those orders to the shipments, booking them on the best contract that works for your business, the lowest cost or the fastest transit time or some balance therein that gets the cargo where it needs to be, routing that into fulfillment centers. We operate our own network of fulfillment centers and then doing omni-channel distribution out to retail stores or direct-to-consumer stores. So that's what we've evolved into, and we still continue to expand and take on new geographies and layering in new products like inventory financing, cargo insurance, many other things. But the origin of the business actually goes way back 20 years ago. I ran a business with my older brother, an e-commerce business, buying products in Asia, mostly in Asia, other parts of the world too, building e-commerce sites and selling them online. And we were some of the first, we were kind of like power sellers on eBay, some of the first sellers on Amazon when they opened the third-party marketplace. And then a lot of our own e-commerce sites. It was before Shopify. We were a tech company, even though we never called ourselves that and never raised venture capital, but built all our own e-commerce sites, checkout, payments, inventory management. If we'd been smarter, we would have sold the software like Shopify or NetSuite or somebody. Instead, we sold kind of crappy motorsports products, scooters, dirt bikes, ATVs.
I was wondering. I was like, are we talking about action figures? Like, what are you trading cards?
The thing that they all had in common in hindsight was they were like big and bulky. And that's where
that makes sense.
Shipping being a major pain point because it was a big piece of the costs and the customs. A lot of it were motorized vehicles. So there's a heavy regulations of import and export, import regs, kind of like you got to clear DOT, not just customs and border protection, but DOT, EPA, California certifications around emissions. I mean, you had to deal with it all. And in fact, in the US, there's 43 government agencies just in the United States that take an interest in imported products of one kind or another for good reason, right? I mean, they got to protect our people against that. And that's to say nothing of counterfeit and drugs and all the other reasons that border security is important. And so, yeah, the original idea came from that. It was like I suffered at the hands of freight forwarders and customs brokers who couldn't tell me where my stuff was or how much it was going to cost, much less like provide any kind of data layer or ease of navigation and be able to coordinate this complexity. There's really high transaction costs in the business because there's so many handoffs from door to door on the freight, and they're largely done manually. I sometimes joke that instead of freight forwarding, we should call the industry freight email forwarding. And so what we set out to do with Flexport was build in the beginning, it was sort of like TurboTax for importing. Can we just simplify this process? Almost like, I mean, TurboTax is literally paying your taxes. And so is customs. You got to pay your duties, your taxes on customs, and make that really simple where in the beginning it was about small business. We still think we still aspire to be the best way for small business to import things. I think we've done that, but we've really worked up market, turns out big companies also have these problems.
Yeah.
And the bigger you get, it's a different kind of problem. It's less like, hey, I don't understand these regulations, like teach it to me. It's more, I've got 10,000 shipments that I need to manage and I can't do it by hand. I can't. So it's different kind of problem, but ultimately it's about coordinating complexity, simplifying the world, lowering transaction costs, and helping these supply chains run more efficiently with less working capital, the inventory getting to the right place at the right time at a lower cost.
Yeah, right.